Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we got a real fun one. A lot of times.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, come on, this is a member of our community joining us today. A lot of times that we do these interviews, we'll talk with developers,
Review the game,
all that. Maybe sometimes on Mondays we'll talk news, but I'm super excited today to be joined with Stephen Spann. He's the owner of XVR Lounge, a VR lounge in Philly. He'll drop the full address in just a minute for anybody in the area, but Stephen popped into our Discord, listened to our podcast a bit. We went back and forth with him a little bit about his business, and it seemed like a no-brainer to have him on. So,
absolutely.
Stephen, do you mind to tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself and, the business that you operate?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you for having me on here today. Like you said, my name is Stephen Spann. I'm the owner of the XVR Lounge in Philadelphia. The address is 5131 Chestnut Street. We're located in West Philly. It's an honor to be here to do this interview. I want you guys to know you're actually my first podcast interview, so I'm gonna give you an applause for actually having the heart to bring me on your show. So I appreciate that. But yeah, man, it's been fun. We've been open for about 2 months now, and it's just been really growing constantly. So again, I appreciate you guys.
No worries. I'm happy that you were able to take the time out to spend an hour with us. How much competition actually exists out in your area for VR lounges?
To be perfectly honest with you, we have a couple of VR places that are relatively close to us. The only thing that makes us stand out from everybody else is that we're the first arena in the city, probably even in the tri-state area, to where we're able to have 4 players play together at the same time in the same 20 by 30 square foot arena. So that helps us to stand out from the competition, because like a lot of the other VR places, they mainly offer VR booths and game consoles, to where we're able to have people freely roaming around inside our arena and enjoying and having a good time, killing zombies or doing laser tags and that sort of stuff.
That huge open environment, if you ask me, that's the big selling part of a VR arcade. I think if one didn't have that, I don't think
I don't like when you're stuck in one
booth or something like that.
Like a 4x4 or a 6x4.
Right.
Having that whole room with your friends, Stratus was saying over here this morning, he's like, dude, that's basically a modern day LAN party, to the next level. I'm like, exactly. That's the way it should be. So that's definitely a big thing that separates you guys from the other ones. And how did you get into to starting a VR lounge? A lot of us, we try VR the first time, and instantly, it's like, I got to get involved with this somehow in a business sense. We started the podcast. You see a lot of people getting into content creation, but definitely trying VR is a little bit of that inspirational moment. So how did you go from, not a business owner to owning a VR lounge?
Absolutely. It's funny because I kind of stumbled onto this business. I was looking to do, like, escape rooms was popping up all over everywhere, especially in Philadelphia in the tri-state area, to where they were doing escape rooms, and you were just basically in the room just trying to figure out the puzzles in order to get yourself out. So I came across a piece of property that a friend of mine owns, and it's been empty for about 7 years. So I was trying to think of an idea that I can put into this business. And like I said, West Philly is an underdeveloped area, to where there's not really too much leisure things that people can do out here. So I was going to put one of the escape rooms here. And during my research, I came across VR, and I'm like, oh, wait, what is this? So I went out, purchased one of the headsets, got into it, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. My wife bought me a PlayStation like 2 years ago that had been sitting in the box for 2 years. I finally took it out, decided to play it. As soon as I discovered VR, I quickly turned that over to my son and said, "Yo, you take that. I'm going to play with this." But VR is an amazing. It's just an amazing concept, and the more people learn about it, the more people experience it. I'm telling you, I think it's going to change the whole gaming concept, as far as like console gaming and things like that. Like, people are going to be doing this more often than not.
Oh, I trust me, my Xbox has never suffered worse than when I got a VR headset.
Yeah, my poor consoles are collecting dust like
I still
nobody's
play
business.
them, but I play them like reading a book to fall asleep, not for actual like I'm gonna kill a day playing my Xbox. No, I commend anybody who's willing to take the gamble and risk to step into any side of the VR industry. It's so new. So when I had seen that, you know, here you are, you're opening up what I think is going to be a pretty popular VR lounge. Your IG is pretty awesome with the photos of the people coming and having fun. And we were talking this morning about one that you posted where it seemed like there was an older group of ladies and they were actually sitting in chairs and they had their VR headsets on and they were doing something. So you're really, you need to be
we try to
commended.
cater to. Thank you. We really try to cater to everyone that comes through our doors, like from young to old, to gamer to non-gamers, to anybody that comes in, because we don't look at VR as a game. We look at it as an experience, because that's exactly what you get, especially when you come into the XVR Lounge. You're getting more of an experience than anything. When people come through the door and they say, "Oh, I don't play games, I just want to bring my kids," I force them to get into what we call our waiting room, which is one of our platforms that we utilize, where you're almost like in a Dave and Buster setting, to where you're playing basketball, where you're like doing prizes. They got tables set up to where you're actually like looking like you're eating and popping a bottle of beer. So it's a whole experience that people don't realize is available to them. So we find ourselves doing more educating people on VR.
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of your, you know, the people coming in and taking advantage of this, they're kind of like first-time VR users versus like seasoned vets.
That's correct. That's correct. One of the things that you guys had mentioned was about like people just going to a VR store or a VR place just to play games. I think that with the consoles being so easily accessible to people that go out and purchase it, why would I want to go visit your place, pay $30 to play that I could play at home? You know what I mean? So what we try to do is capture the group of people playing, opposed to you just playing at home. Like being in the booth, it just really doesn't give you that experience that you would get if you guys are all in the same place at the same time, playing together.
Yeah, even for us who we play VR together nightly, especially like, you know, we'll play Pop One. We love a lot of shooters. We love to play, you know, mini golf together, a lot of co-op games. And even that, you know, we're not in the same room together. We're separated. So even for us who use VR daily, I can see the incentive of, all right, let's rent out this space.
The group aspect and having the space to
Yeah,
to not be bumping into each other is ginormous.
most people have home size limitations while they're playing. Like hitting the wall or the ceiling is like a very real possibility.
Right.
So being able to go somewhere with your friends, be able to run around, and oh my god, hell yeah, that's even for, like I said, a seasoned VR player, I can see the.
Yeah, I'd never be able to pull off like moving laser tag in my house.
No.
I would go right through my
There'd be
TV.
holes in my wall.
Yeah. So it's like I get a little jealous when I see some of the things.
Yeah, it's funny you had mentioned one of the older group that we had come in here. That was actually a friend of mine who I went to college with. His aunt passed away, and they wanted to do their repass here at the VR lounge. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You know, I'll open it up to you. You know, like I said, a really good friend of mine. So when they came up here, they were like, oh, we want to try it. And even the older lady, that lady had to be somewhere about 72 years old. Yeah, they were in their 70s. So they wanted to experience it. And when I put them into the waiting room, one of the ladies fell. So they was like, oh no, we don't want to do this. So we said, you know what, though, let's get some chairs and let's have you guys sit down and really experience. And they've been talking about it ever since.
No, I loved seeing the photos on IG of the older lady, and I predicted she was in her mid 60s, maybe higher. I'll flatter her a little, but she looked like she was having a ball, and it got me thinking of the amount of like faces of the new experience that you must get to witness firsthand, and the smiles when you're having fun in VR are pretty damn genuine on my end. So it's got to be pretty cool to see all that going down in a group setting as well.
Absolutely. I think we have just as much fun watching them play and watching them enjoy the experience as they are actually inside the game. Like I tell people when they're sitting here waiting on their time to get in, I say y'all gonna enjoy this more looking at the people run around making fools of themselves than the people who are actually playing the game. So we actually enjoy watching the people run around from the zombies, and it's just be so hilarious. I can't wait to get the cameras put up in here so that we can like give footage to people as they're after they finish playing the game, so they could take it home. I mean, we do it on like our camera phones and stuff like that, and try to upload the videos to them. But I think we want to do a more sophisticated kind of editing program to where we can send them the videos once they complete their gaming time.
Oh, that would be freaking awesome.
Right.
Seeing the genuine like fear screams, ah, you know how things are when somebody's doing VR. A zombie comes up, they're screaming. That's it. It's
absolutely
about it. So
yeah, absolutely right.
For somebody's new to VR, they want to come check out your spot. How much does however long the time slot that you buy, what's
I
the
was curious, the play session time.
yeah, like how long do you get and how much does it cost?
So basically, you get 1 hour of gameplay, and that's $25 per person. So basically, within that hour, you're getting at least about six to seven games. That each game lasts about 6 to 7 minutes. So you get quite an experience within that 1 hour. And like I said, we're in an area in the neighborhood to where it's not very fluent as far as income and things like that. So we try to cater to people. We want everybody to be able to experience it. So we don't want to make it too high price for everybody.
No, 1 hour of gameplay for that cost is a steal. I've seen a lot of other VR arcades that you can easily see the price go high. So 25 a person's that's really not bad, especially for an hour of play.
Mm-mm.
I think that's a great intro.
No, and that's an hour of, it looks like open room play, so you have the ability to actually be working out a little. So you're running around for an hour in VR. You're going to be a lot more tired than you probably think you are.
Yeah, an hour might not sound like much to somebody who's never done VR, but especially like you said, running around, doing shooters, zombie games. So
go outside and get chased by zombies. See how tired you feel after. You get the adrenaline, then the adrenaline dump from all the...
So how many games do you have on your library of games to choose from?
For the arena, we have up to 12 games currently.
Nice.
So we have the Hero Zone platform, which gives us 6 games on that one. Then we have what is called Phenomena, which is a versus laser tag. And then we have another one, which is called Deep VR, which is another zombie apocalypse game. So we have about 12 on the platform right now.
Nice.
Hoping to add more later on.
That's a pretty good variety to choose from. And is there like a overwhelmingly most popular or most loved one that everybody leaves? Like, that's the one.
Yes, the most popular one has to be Drop Dead, which is the zombie game.
Mm-hmm.
People just love it. They're scared and loving it at the same time. So it's very interactive, and it's like I said, it's amazing to watch people actually inside the game playing and then seeing what they do on the outside. It's just it's funny. And then the laser tag is also our most popular game because it's very competitive. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of running around, as you said, so that people enjoy both of those the most.
Yeah, I think everybody loves laser tag.
I'd be more inclined to probably want to play laser tag.
Yeah, but that's because we've done a lot of zombie shooters already playing VR. I can definitely see for a first-time VR user, it's like, let's go get some zombies,
Right.
How's the return? Are you finding that people are definitely coming back to re-experience it again?
Yeah, it's amazing because once they experience the first time, they're bringing their friends back the next time. Like I had one group come in, and a young lady came with her boyfriend and his group of friends, and she enjoyed it so much that she booked for her and her group of friends the following week. So it's like we're getting people who are coming back 3 or 4 times, whether they're doing birthday parties or if they're just doing a night out on the town. We've been getting some really good return visits.
That's huge. Well, I think that goes back to it being, $25 is a good.
Yeah, the price point's not bad at all. I mean,
Right.
I can go through a drive-through and blow more than $25, I'm sure.
You go to some major cities, you'll blow through $25, more than 25 on parking.
I was going to say just to park your car. Yeah.
So what I'm gathering from you guys is that I should go up on these prices, is what you're saying?
Hey, well, I mean, so here's the thing. You've been open for, you said 2 months?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that makes sense to get people in the door, get that initial clientele.
Yeah, it's the business growth. But, I mean,
it looks like you do a lot of cool events at your.
I was going to say, it sounds like there's always something fun going on.
I saw on your IG you had like hookah nights, that kind of stuff. What's that been like for you with getting new people in the door? Is that a lot of fun for you, or is it more of a get new faces in?
Well, this is to get new faces in. It's been more of a challenge as far as like the first hookah event that we did. We had about 20 people here at that point in time, but we were trying to do something monthly to continue to get people to come through the door to really know what the virtual reality world is like. So we had a pop-up shop that was here yesterday to where we had a few vendors come out and showcase some of their things that they had. And as people were coming in, they were trying the VR gaming and things like that. So that was another opportunity for us to educate new people to the virtual reality world. Um, and then we have another event coming up at the end of the month called the Wine and Fine. So it's going to be a wine tasting event mixed with the virtual escape room. So we're trying to do different things just to get people to come through the door to know who we are and what we do and things like that. So far it's been trying to grow a little bit, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, I
Makes
love it.
total sense.
And it builds kind of almost like a community feel.
Well, that's how I took the business was, this is a business that you can put anywhere you want. So wherever you stick it, you're going to be part of that community, no matter where it is. So I think it's fantastic that you're doing it.
Right.
It's like you're affordably exposing everyone to be able to, and your place looks beautiful. Every photo I see in it, I'm jealous. Philly's like 4 hours, 5 hours from us.
Yeah, I think I actually read one time that so anybody who checks out your IG, they're gonna see your arcade, and on the ground there's all these lines and squares and things like that. That's all for tracking, right?
That's correct. That's correct. It's basically to help reflect the light, because we have infrared lights as well as spotlights that helps the reflectors to reflect the light into the headset so that we can have a bigger space for the tracking.
That's even if that's not what it's for. I think there is a cool factor when
does
you look
look
at
cool,
the floors decked out like that with the little dots and
so things like that. It's like these are the things people don't always take in consideration, about moving into a new venture like this. How much of it was like learning on the spot, on the fly with this stuff? Like, all right, I got to put these markers on the ground. How did you? I guess how did you figure it all out?
All right, so I'm gonna tell you all my trial and error story, okay?
I love it
because it's really no blueprint to like the layout of these, because a lot of the developers are from other countries. So a lot of them come from Russia, Canada, to even to well, I can't even think of the word, Yugoslavia and different places. So a lot of the developers come from different countries, so they don't use the same metrics that we use. So as I was reading their information on how to set up my flooring, I'm thinking of inches and feet, and they're thinking of centimeters and meters. So when I first laid out my my floor plan with my contractor, I had a 41-foot wall where it had door, window, everything was involved in it. So as I was putting down my markers, getting ready to hopefully use that as my arena, I was off by like 3 feet.
That
must
have been such a heart sink.
I had to. Oh my gosh, I was so devastated because I had to tear that whole wall down which knocked me back another 4 months because I'm actually building this during the time that I'm working my full time. I still work my full time job as well, so I'm doing this in the evenings and things like that. So after I had to take that wall down, it was so devastating. Um, because I was like all that work we put into it and had to tear it down. So, um, but it actually turned out pretty
I feel
good
bad.
because it gives
I feel
everybody
bad
else.
for
I like
laughing.
the open floor plan of it because it gives. Nah, well, but yeah, I mean, but again, it's a learning experience. It's definitely, it was definitely a learning experience for me with trying to really get this thing built out, and now I love what we've done thus far. Um, it's come a long way now. It's just a point of getting people in front of it to see the enjoyment and the excitement that it brings.
Yeah, I always love hearing the the unexpected hurdles of operating a business, and it's always stuff like that, the small things. So, you mentioned that set you back a couple months. What was the total time it took to get this business up and running?
Oh wow. About a year and a half, I want to say. Yeah, about a year and a half. Because again, as I said, with me working my full time job and then coming here in the evenings to lay it out and build it out, yeah, it took me about a year and a
No, that makes sense, and big props to you for doing this with your full time job. We do the podcast with our full time job too. I get it, but we're not running an actual brick and mortar
Mm-mm.
retail business.
Having to build it.
That's a lot of responsibility, a lot of work. So props to you. I mean, I think people like you who are,
It's part of that passion that you have to have for this industry, or you're never gonna succeed in it.
yeah, and people like you are
half.
essential for both the industry of VR and local communities because it's like very few people get handed opportunities for $1 million. All right, now go start a business. There's a gamble, there's a hustle. And
Right.
if nobody does it, the industry doesn't grow. You don't have, like you said, nice leisure businesses in the area, but somebody has to do it, and you're the guy doing it. So I love to hear it. I really hope in like a year, 2 years, we can hear that this is your full time gig. It's growing, you're
Franchise.
expanding.
Yeah.
You need to get a new location because you're outgrowing. Man, when I hear stories like this, all I want for you is and people
Success.
like you, and yeah, success. You definitely deserve it, but like all things, 2 months in, it makes sense that it's still in the growing phase.
Again, that
Mhm.
education. I mean, and it's not just an education for the consumers. It's got to be an education for you to some extent because it is such a new market.
Yep, like
It's not like there's 1,000 VR things everywhere, every corner. So it's like somebody's
Right.
got to lay that foundation. You're doing all the hard work for
yeah,
people to come around in a couple of years. Is what's going on.
what we're saying. There's a lot of templates of how to run a restaurant. There's not many templates of how to
Right.
run VR arcades.
No,
Absolutely not.
So
And you're absolutely right about that. It was like difficult to try to get other people that can. Well, let me put it this way: there is a community of other VR location based entertainment businesses that we kind of like talk to each other and things like that. Um, I had one guy in Chicago who he actually closed his location based place, but it seemed like he was doing really good business. I think he was doing about 10,000 a month in revenue, and he decided to close it to go back to a vape shop because he had a vape shop at first, and I guess it was netting him more money. I was just like, dude, I think you should have stayed in it a little while longer because, as you guys said, it once everything catches on and people really start paying attention to what is going on in this industry, I think it's going to take off like wildfire. And I just want to be able to be at the cutting edge of it and say, you know what, we started it, and we're just going to try to make it do as much as we can to get it done. Like we're already looking at a second location, probably in like the Delaware area, somewhere around there. I would like to be like close to colleges and things like that, to where the kids innovative, coming up with new ideas, and eventually come across developers from the United States who probably want a game that they want to put on the platform. And I want to be the one that people look towards to say, you know what, let's deal with him and showcase our stuff and our work. So, it just feels good to be at the cutting edge.
I love to hear that. So your dream with this, is, your vision is, all, kind of like a franchise, a chain of XVR lounges, kind of, all over major cities.
Absolutely. Yep.
Ooh, and
So
I think
I definitely want to be at the grand opening of XVR Miami. Definitely want to invite to that one.
Vegas won't be a bad one.
Yeah, I'll take some Vegas.
No, I love the idea, and hey, I don't need to know numbers or anything like that. It's the same thing asking developers, hey, you make a lot of sales. It's a little weird, but if you're talking about a second location, it sounds like business has been going positive.
Well, it has, but I think I'm looking at more the visual aspect of it than I am about what it is right now. I'm not going to say that we're making a ton of money or a ton of revenue or anything like that, but again, it's the forward thinking of knowing what this business can be and what this industry is moving into. That I would be a fool to just stay at one, to just keep one location. I don't think I'll be doing everybody a service if I just did this one location.
No, and I love that.
It's a smart plan because you look at any business, the only way to really do it is to have multiple spots open.
And it's long-term thinking.
Absolutely.
You're not looking at VR as a one-year endeavor. It's I know this stuff's gonna blow up. It might not make $1 million today, but it will. Let's get the foundation so when it's ready, we're in all the spots and we're ready to go. I love that.
That's pretty. Yeah, that got me a little excited. Like, that's cool.
So do you? I'm
just thinking of Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask if you had former. Did you used to live in Delaware or anything, or is it just because it's a college city with it's just a good spot?
No, well, is our neighboring state, of course, and I have a good friend of mine who's been in Delaware for a number of years, who introduced me to a potential location. And is right next to University of Delaware. It's a new development and things like that. So I was just looking at that area only because of the demographics and the potential that's out there. So no, I never lived in Delaware, but I do visit there frequently.
No, that's awesome. And I'm sorry to cut you off before. If you want to finish what you were going to say before, my bad.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
So I do.
Listen, man, I'm 47 years old, so I'm not as young as I used to be. So you got to catch me in mid thought.
Hey, it happens to me at 25 too. I'll be talking. I go, "What was I just saying?" It's the worst. But you had a question there?
Yeah, I'm curious if is this your first business you've ever owned? If you don't mind me prying in your personal past at all. I'm curious if you've always had this entrepreneurial drive.
Not at all.
Really?
Well, I will say I've always had an entrepreneurial drive. I actually owned a barbershop in Connecticut when I lived in Connecticut for a while. And my good friends, we had a music store when CDs were still around. So I ventured off into businesses, but I never actually went full steam ahead like I am with this business. So I've had it in my heart to want to have my own, to do my own thing, but it was never the opportunity presented itself for me to be able to do it. And I think with the pandemic, kind of opened my eyes. But yeah, so this is my first big adventure. Let me put it that way. This is my first big venture.
No, and I
like the vision.
Yeah, for having, this is, a barbershop VR, they're a little different, but, running business is kind of universal. But I love to hear how you have your head on straight with it. You're like, you have the long-term vision, you have a growth vision, you understand how to get people in the door. These type of events that I see you, promoting on your IG that's perfect. I mean, if anybody wants to go give you a follow on social media, what's your your Instagram handle where they can find you, and your website as well while we're at it.
Our Instagram handle, absolutely. Our Instagram is XVR_Lounge, and our website is www.thexvrlounge.com. And you can also follow us on Facebook at XVR Lounge.
Awesome. And again, anybody in the Philly area, $25 again, even for somebody who I use VR daily. I really want to go into a a full scale arena and dude, wreak havoc.
Maybe we'll have to take a trip out to Philly sometime soon.
Yeah, it's
sometime after winter.
Yeah, yeah. It's a bit of a drive, but for something like this, I think it's definitely worth it. And I'm excited to stay, watching your social media. Hope to see these other locations come up.
Definitely want to have Stephen back on.
Yeah,
get some updates.
When the Delaware spot opens, we'll definitely have to have you back on, and we can blast out the location just like that. Do you want to shout out your address again of where the people can find you in case that they missed that in the beginning?
Yes, absolutely. I'm located at 5131 Chestnut Street, Philadelphia, PA 19139. You can follow us on Instagram at XVR_Lounge, or you can check out our website at www.thexvrlounge.com. Matter of fact, we just filmed our first commercial too.
Ooh. Congratulations.
So yeah, you can check out our the commercial we just filmed for it.
That's huge. That's awesome. So anybody who's in the Philly area, if you like VR, man, $25, go grab a group of friends, go have a good time, and go support a new business in the area, man. This guy's taking the chance. He's really putting his money,
something legit to the table.
Yeah,
a good experience.
And again, taking the chance for everybody. Somebody has to do these risks, and again, Steven's the one doing it. So I think
it sounds like it's going to be to a good scale too. I like the difference between people owning a business and successfully having a future for the business is what can really make one. So that's pretty impressive.
I'm glad we actually met you and got to see you at the beginning, though, because if you ask me, it's occasionally we'll talk to developers and we'll end the interview and we're like, that guy's gonna he's gonna get scooped up by somebody big or he's gonna make a great game. Like, that guy's going somewhere. And I kind of feel the same way in this one. It's like, all right, this is somebody with
I don't think we'd be able to have the interview a year or two from now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think you're destined for good things with it, but I'm glad we got to see it as an infant, and hopefully we can see you full blown, several locations and the whole 9 yards.
Very inspirational.
Well, here's my promise to you guys. No matter how big I may get, because y'all were my first interview on a podcast, you will always have access to me.
That's awesome. I love that stuff, man. It's
remember that when you're sitting behind a big wooden corporate desk,
taking a private jet to your other facility, That's awesome.
Then I'll fly y'all into it. Then how about that? I'll fly y'all guys down to wherever the next location is going to be. I told you I want to come up there. I actually want to, because I have ties to Connecticut, Massachusetts, in that area. I do want to put one up there somewhere in the near future. So be on the lookout for us. We're coming.
Oh, we'll definitely check that out. Maybe we can host a little Ruff Talk get together if there's one in the area, for any listeners in the area. That's
absolutely
awesome. So
no, I'm grateful for the time. Yeah, I'm excited to watch this just keep growing.
Yeah, I mean,
I use IG as my main source of the photos coming in. But I've enjoyed it.
Between running a business and working full time, I understand taking an
hour. Having a family.
Family
man.
Taking an hour of your time, I'm sure it's. We're grateful. We appreciate it, and I mean, I hope we can get some people through the door. Is there anything else that you wanted to say or shout out or anything like that before we wrap this baby up?
Nah, as I said, guys, I appreciate you guys for bringing me on and giving me the opportunity to talk about our business. I do want to shout out my manager, Ty. She is excellent as far as keeping me in order, keeping us afloat with everything. So. We always need that vote of confidence to let us know that we're going in the right direction, because there's been times that I've been discouraged, and between her and my wife, they've been making sure that I stay on course. So I want to say thank you to them, and I just want to say thank you again, guys, for having us on and giving us the opportunity to tell our story.
No problem. That's a very important to hear,
this is just the beginning of this story, so
yeah,
we got a lot more to go.
Hey, having the right team is essential, the right support system, so that's awesome to hear you have that going too. So hopefully we can get you on, at the launch of the Delaware location, and a couple more times after that. Awesome. So thank you guys
guys, let me know when you're ready.
Awesome.
I'm there.
So thank you guys for listening. This one again, if you're in the Philly area, $25 a person. Come on, go support this guy. Go check out his place. I mean, to be honest with you, I really want to play a shooter in a open arena. Yeah. So if you're in the Philly area, I'm gonna be a little jealous, but go check out Stephen, the XVR Lounge, and Enjoy the rest of your day.